Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today I've just got another mail opening of new stock for my online store. So let's get through this quickly before the heat refines us in this very small room and before my nose starts off again because it's been a really bad hay fever day so far. We're going to start off with the least interesting bits. These are some figures that I actually went back and ordered after having placed the initial order for just wrestling figures, because it's always worth checking the deals section, and that applies for anything, whether you're ordering stuff in for a shop online or whether you're just shopping for yourself for one specific thing. Always check the deals, and in this particular instance we found some good ones. So first of all, here we have the 3.75 inch Overwatch 2 Genji action figure. Now, there aren't even any listings for these on eBay, and I think they were $14.99 on Amazon, so we're probably going to try somewhere around that price. So plenty of money in there if we can actually sell them for that amount. So pretty cool. I'm not a big Genji guy. Actually, I'm really not a big Genji guy. I'm really not a big fan of Genji at all. In fact, I've never actually touched Overwatch 2. I just couldn't really be bothered once it came out, and then, it was a bit of a mess, but yeah, whatever. These are from Funko, apparently, and, of course, from Blizzard. Less said, the better. Yeah, Overwatch 2 Genji 3.75 inch action figure. So we got 6 of those, and again, they were just so cheap that I thought, we'll give them a go. It's still something I'm loosely interested in. It's still action figures. That one's obviously damaged straight out of the box, so that's nice. But yeah, we should hopefully be able to get a few quid for those. As I say, there's none listed on eBay at all, at least not for a remotely reasonable price. There's definitely not any. I probably stopped scrolling when I got to like £20. But yeah, rest of the series is Reaper and Tracer. We didn't have any option to get those in, so I didn't get those in. But yeah, again, just the kind of thing that we would have never bothered with if we didn't check the deal section. But it was nice and cheap. Nice and cheap box of figs to order in with a decent bit of money behind them, hopefully. Next we have one that is a little bit surprising, and it is some Marvel Legends. Now, I tend to find when I see Marvel Legends in that deal section, there's either no money in them at all, like you literally would have to sell them for the money you buy them for, even on sale, or they're surprisingly good value despite being like very niche characters. So the last time we ordered some figures in, we got some interesting bits. We got Nightcrawlers, we got Crossfire, and there was some decent money in those, and they've been selling all right so far. We also got some Baron Struckers a little while ago. One of them sold straight away, but then the rest have just shelf warmed since, so we'll have to see what happens with those. But I really don't mind playing the waiting game with stuff, as long as I've still got space to get new stuff in and the stuff sells eventually. I really don't mind. Of course, I say it if I still got space to get stuff in. I really don't, but we have to make the space from somewhere. God, this one's really taped in. Really doesn't want to open for us. This one's a bit weird. I can understand a little bit of a bump for it, because the Thunderbolts movie just came out, and it is a Build-A-Figure wave, apparently. I didn't know that until now. It is the Hawkeye Legends series Yelena Belova. Of course, this is back when they decided to take the window out for a short amount of time. Again, there weren't really any cheap listings of these on eBay. There was one loose for over £20. So I figure I'm going to list them boxed for £20. Maybe go a little bit higher than that. I don't know. I'd have to have another look to be perfectly sure. I mean, I'm saying this, I've already listed these. I've already listed these, I've already listed the Genjis, I've already listed the next lot of wrestling figures that we'll get into after this. There's only one thing from this order I haven't already listed, but yeah. Not really sure how much of a likeness that has to Yelena in the films or in Hawkeye series. Is she in Hawkeye? I assume she is. I assume it's not just one of those things where people have been chucked in, although it definitely could be. Yeah, I don't know. But it's quite a cool figure though. We've got some interesting like martial arts weapons and stuff in there, and of course we've got the Build-A-Figure piece for Hydra Stomper as well. So we got 8 of those Yelena Belova action figures. I think they're listed for 20. I don't think they're any higher than 20. Again, ones we got in the deal section, and the reason that we thought about the deal section was because we ordered in these wrestling figures, which were on a deal, and I ordered it in and then thought, oh, damn, I've ordered the Karma on deal and then forgot to actually check the deal section. So I always check the wholesaler now and then just to make sure that, just to check if they have any cool wrestling figure stuff. And despite the fact that these were on clearance in Smith's and in TK Maxx not that long ago, these camel mustaches were finally reduced on my wholesaler, who were literally charging more than like TK Maxx were originally selling them for, just to get them in wholesale. Despite that, they've finally reduced these to a very reasonable price, and the Camel Mustafa action figure is actually worth like 20 quid on eBay as well. There's a surprising lack of listings of them. Again, damaged right out of the box. Love it. We love to see it. Oh well, we'll just send this one out last, I guess. This is a very cool instance of a figure that I've ordered in that I want one of, that I already have, so I don't need to worry about selling them all, which is cool. It's nice to not actually skim off the stock for once. But yeah, not the most exciting figure in the world, but it's always nice to get more wrestling figures in, and even more nice to know that I can make a fair bit of money on them. Surprised, I don't think these are going to sell quickly, but I think they'll go eventually, and I'm very happy with the amount of money we have in them, considering, you know, how long it took places like TK Maxx and Smith's to kind of get rid of them. And the last thing we have here, I just ordered in some general WWE Elites to order the Karmas in, basically. Because I've been putting off ordering these for a few months just to see what we get. Now, this is a listing of just WWE Elite assortment, and the pictures are all Elite 92. Now, the last time I ordered an assortment from this site, which was the Spawn figures last year, there was only the Spawn Lord Covenant figure listed, and that's all we got. That could be an isolated incident though, or this could be Elite 92. Elite 92 is a good wave. I think it's much more likely we'll be getting a modern wave, and that, of course, that's just an old listing that they just renew when they get the new stuff in. Honestly, it just says Elite Collection figure assortment on the side, so I don't know what we're getting. So, let's find out. Okay, it's definitely a new one. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, interesting wave. Again, not one where there's anything in it that I'm going to keep, so that's also good. It is Elite 117. So we've got a Naomi, nice and dented right out of the box. Love it, love to see it. So we got Naomi. It's a pretty cool figure. I'm a big sucker for big bright neon green, but I really don't care for Naomi. And I really didn't before she, you know, threw her toys out the pram that time. And then came back anyway. We got my good buddy Axiom in the blue. You'll have to forgive me, I don't know which is the chase and which is the regular. But, you know, very cool. This is the kind of figure where, I don't know, it might not be worth anything right now. It might pop up in Smith's and B&M and whatever right now. But eventually, it'll sell anyway. We've got Rhea Ripley. Very cool. Brilliant character to have in. You know, you're always going to sell a Rhea. I thought there was like some tape or something. It's literally just like some kind of like adhesive. It's not sticky or anything. I thought it was. I can't even share the light on it there. I don't even know what it is. It's like some kind of adhesive that's come off it. Deary me, Mattel. Good God. I look forward to people returning these, telling me the arm snapped off immediately. Yeah, Rhea Ripley, really good character to have in. Again, I don't have a Rhea, but I really don't especially care for her either. Like, I got my women's division. I'm happy with it. And I don't really watch the product anymore, which is also the reason why I won't be keeping this, despite the fact that I think the belt is really nice. We got the Grayson Waller, of course, with the new tag team title belt. I actually really like that belt, but I don't particularly care for Grayson Waller. I don't watch the current product anymore, so, you know, it's not really for me. Plus, where are we getting the other half of the belt from, you know? Where are we getting the other belt from? Same with Axiom. Where's the other belt? Another one to just get listed. Don't know how long that'll take to sell, but I imagine someone out there will be wanting the belt. And then in the bottom of the box, oh no, we got a few more. I'm getting ahead of myself. Next, we've got this Seth Rollins. This is actually really nice. This is actually really nice gear. The white and blue, very nice. Very, very cool. Doesn't come with the belt, which is nice. Again, I quite like this belt. But yeah, no sign of that in the packaging. If I was going to keep a regular Rollins that wasn't in the Shield and wasn't the pink one that I bought for the Build-A-Figure part anyway, I'd absolutely have that. It's a really, really nice Rollins. But I don't want a Rollins for those purposes, so on eBay you go. We got 2 copies of Rollins. And of course, who else did we get 2 copies of? Well, who else would it be 2 copies of? 2 copies of Roman Reigns. Again, should imagine these will sell fine. The whole thing It depends on where B&M and stuff like that are getting them in. That being said, obviously B&M don't do good deals on figures anymore. They're all £20. They're all retail price. So it really depends who's looking for what at the moment, I suppose. But yeah, Roman Reigns is always good to have in. Yeah, we've got 2 copies of that. We've got the family above all jumper on. Yeah, it's kind of cool, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, nothing that I'm going to be keeping out of those, which is always good when you're supposed to be selling this stuff. But that is everything that's just been added to my online store, or at least the figures will be added to my store in about 2 minutes time. Alright guys, I had absolutely no idea that the Naomi was rare here in the UK, and I also have no idea why it is, but it's the UK, sometimes things just pass us by. I mean, that being said, it is literally just there in a box of figures of the wave it's from, right there, that I've been given. So, I don't know. Maybe if you get the Axiom Chase, you don't get a Naomi. I don't know. Doesn't matter. The point is, it's scarce here in the UK. And now I don't know what to do with it. I've always wanted to charge a fair price for things. I've always wanted to be... My business philosophy has always been that I want to charge a reasonable price for everything. And I'm already charging what I don't consider a reasonable price for the Elite on eBay because of eBay fees and just what these things cost. So one thing I'm looking at is like, well, if I charge more for the Naomi, I can put the price down on the others a little bit. And also, it's kind of a case of, as much as I don't like scalping and price gouging and stuff like that, and I want to charge a fair price, it's kind of like, well, if that's the market value, don't hate the player, hate the game kind of thing, I mean, I'm the guy who's struggling to make money out of this stuff. I'm the guy trying to make a business out of here. Maybe we take the money while we can get it, and then later on we'll be the nicer guy when we're already getting the money out of the business or whatever. Part of me thinks maybe just stick it up for an auction on eBay with a starting bid of like £20, so I definitely don't lose out, and then, other people decide how much it goes for. Yeah, I really don't know what to do with it. Like, I could just list it for the $27.99 I've listed everything else for, but, I mean, I'm not going to lie, the greed's getting to me, Like I say, I have to make money off this stuff somehow, and I'm not going to lie, sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do. Sometimes I don't have an awful lot of monies around, and if I had a bit more money for the Naomi, I could spend a bit more money on a toy hunt I keep putting off doing, and which technically I have no money for at the moment, which will almost certainly put me into my overdraft when I do it. So, yeah, I really don't know how to feel about that one. But, I mean, it's better problems to have, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, I just don't know what I'm going to do about that. I mean, especially if I had, like, the social channels as well, to sort of share the listing to share, like, an auction to and stuff. And, kind of make it a bit more of a thing, like a social event, like a social media thing. Then that would be better, but obviously Meta DDoSed all our accounts again, so yeah, I don't know. Whatever. So, if you enjoyed this, please do like, comment, and subscribe, and if you saw anything that you like the look of here, then please message me on one of my social channels, which unfortunately are only Blue Sky here in Discord now, and TikTok, because Meta sucks, and I'll get you a much better deal than anything I can offer on eBay. But also, if you did enjoy watching this video and you'd like to check out more, you can check out the mail openings playlist in the end screen. That will have more action figure, wrestling figure mail openings in it in general, but it also has more mail openings for stuff for the store. And I always appreciate you guys joining me, so thank you all for watching, and goodbye. Now the dog wants to be out. He sat there watching me drag all these boxes across the room, setting up all the camera and the lighting and everything, and decided he'll wait 3 minutes into the recording to decide he's leaving.